All right, hey guys, I'm Bradu, and here we go. We're gonna try Lottery of the Lost, a solo gauntlet, zero level gauntlet. This should be fun and interesting. I'll try to make it like it's gonna be tough to follow zero level characters and what they do, but I'll give a quick rundown on my characters. I used Shadowdark links to create these. What I did, I wanted one of each character, one of each race, ancestry from Unnatural Selection, and there are 12. So I just did like a random zero level using only the ancestries from Unnatural Selection, uh, which is actually on it. So that was kind of cool. So I clicked off all of the core ancestries and only went with the Unnatural Selection one. And then like if it came up, so like the very first one that came up was actually Risen. So I'll show you. So these sheets come four to a sheet, four characters to a sheet. So I wrote down all the stats, including gear, yada yada. Forgot to put talents on the first guy. And the second guy apparently, but whatever, it doesn't really matter that we may not even see them. Anyway, so I made this character, then this, and if a repeat came, like a Risen came up again, I just skip it until I had one of each of the 12. And then on my session 0, which I did earlier today and already uploaded, I kind of randomly chose which would be my starting group, and it's these 6. So half of them are starting. And here's what I kind of did for my. Here are my characters starting out. A Shalonian. I'm going to say Shalonian because shell, right? Shalonian. I'm not naming anyone because I don't want to get attached to them, and yeah, they are going to meet their near certain demise. He's high dex, some real crappy scores. Charisma's real low. A gnome is high charisma. I have no strength-based characters really. The mycelin, which is mushroom type folks. I'm just gonna kind of put them up here as what does my mushroom folk have? Really low strength, high charisma. Slime folk, high intelligence. So I thought that was kind of intriguing. And on a random note, I did backgrounds for each. Wizard's Apprentice, high intelligence, Wizard's Apprentice. The Shadow Elf, high dex, really low int. Interesting. 5. And the Dragonborn was awesome, actually. A high whiz at 16 and high dex at 18 and a 15 con. So, and there's a couple of reasons I kind of put him in the back, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. So that's my starting 6. I have not looked at the actual adventure except the various. I got my. This is kind of how I take my notes. Just put it on one of those little notebook things that are like $3 for $1 at Fred Meyer before school. And you know what I mean? And back to school week or month or whatever. Oh, look, all of a sudden it's. How did I do that? I've been trying to figure out how to focus it. Okay, so Lottery of the Lost. I'm going to at least read through part of it, probably not the whole thing. Background. Blighthaven, a village consumed by despair and disease, teeters on the edge of hopelessness. In the face of overwhelming hardship, the Gauntlet emerges, an underground trial that beckons the desperate, who have resigned themselves to the likelihood of failure. Through a lottery, villagers willingly enter. So initially I was thinking this was a Hunger Games situation or like the lottery. In high school, I feel like I read this story of the lottery that people were randomly picked and you're supposed to pretend you're like it's lucky, but it really means you're gonna die. But it's not that. They have such low despair they willingly enter, driven not by hope but by a grim acceptance that death may be preferable to their wretched existence. The prize a slim chance to escape the plagued slums and rise to the privileged ranks of society. Oh, legends whisper of the one, the sole survivor of the Gauntlet. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, the Gauntlet. Let's see. All areas are dark. If this, I thought this was interesting. Each player is to receive one of the 0 level characters provided. I don't see any provided. I just kind of assume that maybe they're thinking the DM will create some and hand them out. But generally you would roll up your own character. As a solo player, I will be controlling all of them. Once a character dies, choose another. I will choose them randomly. If 2 die, I will enter 2. They appear at the back of the group. Hey, where did you come from? What do you mean? I've been here the whole time. I thought that was kind of funny. All areas are dark. All characters start with a luck token. I am going to say that you cannot hand off your luck token. So I will try to remember to use them quite often, because if they don't, they might die. It has a thing here for, well, I'll get into the other stuff. I'm not going to read any of that stuff yet, because it'll come into play. I haven't even read the random encounters and stuff, so I hope I don't miss something, because I hope it comes up and kind of tells me when I need to check those things. I should look at this, though. Unsafe. Check for encounter every 3 crawling rounds, or when the PCs make loud noises. Now, I've never really tracked crawling rounds, so I'll try to remember to do that. And on that note, do I need to... There's no light except what the PCs have. Do I need to map this dungeon? I don't want it to take a long time if I do that sort of thing. And I did not set out with a sheet of graph paper. And I don't think I have one handy. And I didn't really want to use... I could, actually, you know what I could do for that? If I want, and maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll use, like... We'll see. I don't know how feasible this will be. But these all... I love these. Big book of battle maps, the Loke. So here's like a dungeon, generic dungeon tile. So I can draw my maps on here if I want, but when it doesn't really matter, I will probably use the dungeon pizza, and I'll make an effort to use it the way it's intended and the way it sort of makes sense to me. If you don't know about Dungeon Pizza, it is designed by Professor DM. His channel is Dungeon Craft. He's got great videos on his channel, and it started out as a crafting channel, and this was his big invention. You spin it around, you could have it on a, what are those things called? Lazy Susan. So, oh no, what's my order? So the middle is like, this would be close, and then to move to here would be near, and then to move the outer room would be far from the middle or near from here. But that'll be kind of weird how that goes. All right, so we're going to put these back where I had them if I can. So my middle guys are going to be the turtle and the gnome. And we are going to get going. In the entry cavern, a domed amphitheater of stone teems with onlookers perched on ledges. So there's people all around watching. Ooh, reinforced wooden doors stand open. The lottery winners, a ragtag group of fellow villagers, I thought this was kind of funny because I'm using the really weird ancestries in this, so they're not really villagers, but that's all right. Nervously eye the single torch being offered by a guard. So a guard will be handing a torch to, and the gnome is going to take it. And I'm going to use these to represent a torch. So the gnome will have a torch under him. It's not a perfect system, but it'll tell me so I know when. As one of you grabs the torch, the crowd hushes, and your journey into the relentless darkness of the Gauntlet begins. The torchlight reveals a winding tunnel ahead. So we have a lit torch. The guard is a grim-faced sentinel, which holds out the lit torch. Okay, I'm looking at the map. I'm going to try not to, look at the map, but here's our starting. We're starting in here. So people all around here, goes down into a winding hallway. Okay, so he will do that. He will take the torch. I am going to start a torch timer, and I'm going to use, you guys got to check out this site. This looks awesome. I haven't checked out the whole site, and this will be the first time I really truly use this, but simdark.net timer, simdark.net/timer. There's a timer on here, and I actually kind of made this suggestion to him to do it this way, and that day he did it. So go to the settings, make sure the sound is on, click hide time, click random start, and it gives you a timer, a minimum torch time and a maximum torch time. I don't know what the encounter thing does, so I will probably ignore that because I don't know. But basically, I'm going to set the torch to, I'm going to leave it right here. Minimum torch 30 minutes, max 60 minutes. Once I start this torch, it will go off at a random time between 30 and 60 minutes. And I don't know when that's going to be. I hope that's long enough because I might have a shortage of torches given this situation. It could only be 30 minutes. And I'm going to try to do the running clock. But I think given that I'm going to do the running clock, I'm sure I'll have to pause my video to grab minis and things like that. So if I do that, I might try to also pause the torch and see if that works. So here we go. Our gnome takes the torch. He's brave. He goes up front. He's maybe small, but he is brave. His background was, I think, Avenger. Yeah, his background is Avenger, and he has no weapons. But he steps up to the front, grabs a torch. Maybe that's his weapon for now, or you know what? Maybe somebody should give him a weapon. So so the turtle has 2 daggers. So he is going to just say, look, good on you for standing up here, being brave. You had a free hand, so you took the torch, but you also stepped up here. You might need this. And he's just going to hand over a dagger. So I'm going to give a dagger to the gnome. He's going to be a +0 for D4. And he now has 1 fewer dagger. I did the gear as... I used the gear that was rolled up on Shadow Darklings. And I don't know if that was how this was intended, but I'm just going to assume so. Okay, so let's go. Torch timer. I'm going to go. Here goes. Play. Does have a pause button. I've noticed it's a visual torch, and it starts to go down when it gets closer, so that might give me a hint if we're at 30 minutes, but I won't remember to look at it anyway, frankly. All right, so let's see what's in the next. So we're going to head down the hallway. Being careful, I think. Do I need to have anybody do anything about being careful? As far as torch, I don't really track distance of a torch. I'm going to try and make sense in terms of what makes sense, but basically, if I've got a torch, I tend to think the party can see unless there's a reason not to. I don't track 30 feet or whatever for the torch. 60, whatever it is. I don't tend to track that. Okay, so as we go down the hallway, I'm going to... These guys are going to hardly talk to each other. I will do one thing, actually. Because I noticed somebody else didn't have a weapon either. The elf does not have a weapon either, and he's got a bunch. He ended up with 30 iron spikes, and he has a torch too. Uh, the mycelium. So the mushroom guy ended up with 2 weapons, a dagger and a sling. I think he'll hang on to the sling and offer the dagger to the elf in exchange for iron spikes. So I'm just gonna do a little tradesy there. So we're gonna go Shadow Elf gets dagger. +2 for D4, and he loses 10 iron spikes. Those will go to this guy. The mushroom. We got a whole bunch of iron spikes. I don't know why. Alright, so here we go. We're going to the... Oh boy. Trying not to peek, but it's hard. Twisting tunnel. The floor has patches of earth that appear softer and less stable. I will use... Nobody has a pole, do they? I want somebody to be kind of reaching out with a pole, but I don't have that. In fact, nobody has anything longer than a dagger either. That's kind of weird. Grappling hook. So I can't even like poke around really. So I'll try to be careful, but and be observant. They're not. I don't think they're in a huge rush except for the torch. So I'm gonna proceed cautiously at least, which is good because okay. And as they get to, so this is one of the house rules I do that goes against Shadowdark, which is I just said we're looking for traps, but I would kind of always be looking for traps, and so I'm not going to say I automatically find traps. I'm going to make traps essentially a perception check, and since I've got the gnome and turtle up front, their perception is a -2 and a -2. Oh my god. So we will give them both a chance at perception. I'm going to make it a 12. So let's see. Let's just to make it easier for me to tell, we'll go with purple will be the gnome. And they've got a 12. So I actually have to roll a 14. Nope. They both don't find it. Pit trap. So there's a pit trap pretty quickly in the tunnel, and neither one of them sees it. Dex 15 save, or they're gonna fall. That's ridiculous. So I'm gonna go with the gnome first. Dex 11, so he needs a 15. So he falls in. Okay, I think I'm going to do this. I'll do one thing, a little tricky. They both step in at the same precise moment? Probably not. So he's going to step in. And as he goes, he throws the torch up because he falls in. And he's got 1. Oh my god. Oh, you know what I am going to do? I am going to re-roll. I'm going to use his luck token. So I'm gonna when I use a luck token, I'm gonna mark it. He's got to use his luck token because otherwise he's dead. And I should have used his luck token on his perception, but we're gonna do it on his dex. So he needs a 15. Oh, 10. He's still dead. Ah! Oh no, he went down there with his. He just got a dagger. God damn, we want to get that back. And on that note, I will give the turtle, that's going to be tough, Shalonian, I'll give him advantage because at the second that he sees him fall in, he's got a little bit of a heads up. So he's still a DC 15, but I'm going to roll it at advantage, and his dex is a 3, +3. So I need a 12 on one of these guys. 17. Okay, so he goes, whoa, look out. And everybody stand back. He fell in a trap. Oh no, he's like dead on a spike. Is it a spike trap? Pit trap? Doesn't say. It just says fall damage. We're going to say it's probably spikes. Stuff littered in the pit. We see some stuff down there. Stuff. Discovered gear. So we got to get down there. It's 10 feet deep. 5x5. 10 feet deep. He says, check this out. We got to get down there. There's some stuff. And so they're going to work together. I've got 2 or 3 characters with grappling hooks and ropes. So we'll just, I don't want to get into the details of that, but we'll hook up a rope and kind of attach the grappling hook to the top of to the edge and make sure that it's stable, and I'll have a couple characters stay up and hold it, and the others are going to go down there, and our poor gnome is already gone. I'm just going to do gone. He's just dead. We will crawl down and get his gear. So we're just going to go. I'm going to do this. Well, should I write it on the thing? I guess I should. Toral's going to take his dagger back. I'm just going to go with this. Let's see. Iron spikes. The Dragonborn doesn't have any iron spikes, so he will take the iron spikes. And flint and steel. The Shadow Elf has a torch, but no flint and steel. So he'll take that. So that was the gnome's gear. And then it also says roll 3 items from the discovered gear table. So there must be one here. Discovered gear, D12. We've got 4. So this means somebody else was... There's another dead body down there. Another flint and steel. Great. We'll give that to whoever can carry some stuff. How about this? We're going to give that to the slime folk. Flint and steel. And then we've got 2 more rolls. 7. 1d4 arrows. Okay, that's kind of cool. We don't have a bow, but we should. 4 arrows. So I'm going to give that to somebody with some dex that doesn't have a ton yet. We'll make that... Sorry, I'm going to try and make these kind of decisions quick. We'll give those to the Dragonborn. Who can't use them yet unless we can roll or pick up a bow somehow. 4. There's another flint and steel. Is that what I rolled already? Another flint and steel. Almost everybody has it now. Not almost everybody, but I guess we'll just give that to the Shlonian. Okay, so we climb back up out of there. Let's keep moving. Be very wary. That was just a trap. Yeah, it's just... so they keep winding through these curves, and I still don't have something to be like prodding the ground with, do I? So there's another trap. Oh, okay. Oh, we have to have somebody take the torch. Let's have the... Shoot. Let's have the Shadow Elf maybe take the torch and move up to the front. Oh, somebody else shows up. That's right. So I'm going to roll a d6 to see who else shows up. Somebody died. Somebody was down in this pit trap. That's exactly what it is. Somebody survived the fall of the pit trap, and there they are. So we're going to roll a d6, and that will tell us whether it's 1, 2, or one of the last ones. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tiefling. Cool. Maybe he goes right up to the front. I don't know. Nah, he's cool too. He's actually perfect for the back. Tiefling, highest score is Dex. Torch grappling hook, caltrops. Cool. Okay, so we gained another party member, and it's a tiefling. We already lost one. This said, what did I say? Fake trap? Fake pit trap. So that means just beyond it is a pressure plate. Interesting. DC 12 whiz to notice, so I'll give that to these two. Shadow Elf's going to be purple. He notices it, and he does not. So the Shadow Elf who just stepped up notices it with a regular wisdom score. So they notice a pressure plate. I don't know if they're saying that the pressure plate has to do with this trap, but since we're aware of it, we're going to be very careful not to step on it or... Yeah, I think we're gonna purposely avoid the pressure plate. And we keep walking. Oh, stepping on pressure plate. Woo! Is another trap. So we do not step on the pressure plate, thankfully. And okay. Another trap to notice. DC 12 whiz to notice. I guess I kind of have to use the same two because I'm using them as my lookouts in the front. But this one, it looks like it's on the ceiling. So I'm going to roll it for both of them. Okay, they both notice it actually. Everybody's like, look out, there's another trap up there. So if we had failed, something would fall on us. But we saw it, so we're able to go around seeing that nothing is going to come. Okay, now we come to this huge open room. I'm trying to see if I can show this with this room right here. I don't know what it is yet. Looks like bushes or something in here. There's flickering light and illuminates a damp, gloomy cavern. We're all at the ready. I haven't read further yet, so this is one of the tricky things about running a real adventure that's pre-written. You have to kind of... I normally would try to set up who's doing what, so my front people are kind of my watchers. My back people maybe would be more on the stealthy side, trying to stay hidden from the front, stay in the shadows if they can. And they might have different jobs, but given this, I don't know really what anybody's job would be at this point. So we're just going to proceed with caution, weapons at the ready. The Shadow Elf, he makes no sense to... You know what? He doesn't want the torch. I gave him the torch. He doesn't want the torch. He's going to say he wants somebody else to take the torch. And... I guess I'm going to do a weird thing here. Because they're not necessarily friends, he's going to try to convince the Mycelium, the mushroom guy, to take the torch. No, because he has a sling. He really can't. I don't know who I want to have the torch. I guess the Dragonborn. Oh, I got to roll a charisma check. So I'm going to make it easy. And he's got a +1. So 4. Nope. The Dragonborn says, I'm going to stay back here. It's not much you can do about it. All right, who else is going to take the torch? How about the new guy, the Tiefling? I want him in the back too, though. He'll take it. So they'll trade. He said, I like being in the back. No particular reason. All right, my Tiefling's up front, which isn't perfect, but it is what it is. Okay. Ceiling. Oh, there are stalactites on the ceiling. 15 to 20 feet high. So I think that means they're way up. Because they're up on the ceiling hanging down, right? We want to be careful for anything up. I'm going to hold the torch up high to see if we see anything up in the ceiling. Ooh. We got to roll initiative. So, what is this? Is it a monster in the book? I think it is. Not that there's a monster, but there's a monster. Maybe it's not in here. Oh, no, it is. Okay. I'm not really sure what these are. Oh, they're not up high. Okay, they're not up high. This looks like... Okay, so we're going to roll initiative. They are up high. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Okay, so we're going to go... black will be the bad guys. Blue will be the good guys. I do group initiative, so it looks like we got a... Ooh, a +4 for the bad guys. And I think we have a +4 as well. So bad guys go first. They are going to... This is where it's kind of tricky to fly on the seat of my pants and make it cool and interesting too. Now I kind of wish I did have the map going, but it's just one more thing to like try to do while I'm doing this. Ooh. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen before we even notice them, it's not necessarily a surprise, but they did get the jump, is he's going to roll an attack +4 on the tiefling, who's got a 12 AC, so he needs to roll only an 8. Nope. And the second one will try 6. They both missed. Okay, so these little darts come down from the ceiling, and he's a tiefling, is a 12 AC. Okay, so because he's pretty quick, and he dodges these little darts that come down from the ceiling, and he looks up, and there is long upward pointing noses, pallid-skinned biped, bony, frantic, untouched by the sun. They look a little goblin-y to me, like a skinny goblin, if this art here is the... Oh, Creevers? Yeah, goblinoids. Ugh, I like them. Okay. But they're up high is what it sounds like. I kind of need to read the rest of the description here because there's other stuff. So I try not to find out too much. But what's going to happen is we now are going to... I guess we will attack up high. So the tiefling is the one who got shot at. He's going to look up and say, "Look up there!" And they can now see that there's these guys hanging, these little goblin guys hanging up high. I was trying to see if I have a goblin nearby that I could just grab real fast. I don't. So I guess I'll do a quick pause here. Okay, so these guys, like I found 2 little goblin-y. This is actually a pretty cool mini for this, I think, because it's not exactly a goblin, but looks like similar. And this is I didn't paint these. So they're up high in the ceiling, and we're gonna try to shoot. Somebody had a sling. These guys have a... Oh my god! 19 hit points each? What? How in the world am I supposed to kill them? That's crazy. Oh my god. Anyway, we will try. So who had a sling? The Bison. And he's going to shoot a sling at one of these two guys. He needs to roll a really high roll. He's a -1, and they are... He needs a 13. Okay, that's not bad. A 16. So he shoots, and he hits this guy. So I used a sling, by the way. I have a house rule sling that does 1d3 damage. There's an actual sling in one of the zines that has 1d4 damage, which makes it better than a short bow. So because it's like cheaper, and I can't remember why. But anyway, it's equal to or better than a short bow. So it's a 1d3 as far as I'm concerned. So 2 damage. No, 1 damage, because 1, 2 is 1. So it does only 1 damage, but I'm also going to have that make a dex check for the goblin to hang on, the Creever to hang on. So he's got a 12, but his dex is a 4, so on an 8, I'm going to make it a 12 difficulty, normal difficulty. So on an 8 or lower, he's going to fall. 2. Okay, so sling shoots up, hits him just enough to like make him shift and fall. And what does falling damage do? They are 20 feet up. I think they take d6 for each 10 for every 10 feet. Is that right? Oh, it's not in here. Good lord, too many things to track here. I think it's in that cover here. Falling 1d6 every 10 feet, so he's going to take 2d6 damage. 8 damage plus he took 1, so there's 9. That's still... Yeesh. There's 9 damage, but he still has a whole bunch of hit points. It's insane. Okay. But now he's down and he's prone. So we're going to go after him. That's all we can do. Shalonian is going to... He's the closest up here. He's going to come in here and go for a stabby stab. He's got 2 daggers, but I only need 1 right now. And he needs a... What does prone do? Am I supposed to have advantage? I think I get advantage. That's maybe a D&D rule, but I think it makes sense. So, +3. 16 definitely hits for D4. More. So that's 11 damage. So went. No, he didn't go. So Tiefling's going to go too. Do you have anything special? That's a cool ability. Oh, he doesn't have... So he's going to take a torch. He's going to grab the torch. Here, use this from the Shalonian torch. Grab the dagger. So he needs a dagger. He's a +2. Nice. And he's got advantage as well. 20 crit hit. Can you see that? 20 crit hit. So he gets 1 and 4. 5. So we're at... He's taking some damage now, but it's going to take my whole party to do it. Drop and step. Alright, what else we got here? My Selin did go. The Shadow Elf's going to come up. He's going to come running up and... Look out! When he runs up, he has to make a dex save because the floor is slippery. Ah! Oh, shoot. Don't want to see what that is. 6 does not do it. So he comes running up and slips and skids. No damage, but he falls and loses his chance to attack. Okay. Dragonborn. We got to kill at least one of these guys. Dragonborn's going to run up also, but not run. Now he saw what happened, so he's going to move a little slower. And he's also got a dagger. Drop another die. 19. Big hit. For 3. Oh, that's a kill. Kill shot. Yes. Our first death. So he comes up slowly but steadily and goes for, like, just drives, only a dagger, but he just drives it right into his chest. Confident that he's got a kill. Nice. We got a kill. Okay, so he's dead. The other one is unharmed, but now just saw his buddy go down. And the slimy guy, what is he? Does he have anything he can do from where he is? Probably not. No, he really doesn't. And he doesn't have a weapon either. He's going to notice way over, as he kind of approaches, he's going to notice way over here that there's a body, a skeletal corpse. And he's going to start looking around at what's going on with this guy. So he'll come over here. We saw somebody fall, so we got to move kind of a little bit clever, safe. Move slower and more careful. A skeletal corpse with ripped leather pieces and a satchel still wrapped across the body, so it looks like they got somebody. Palm-sized stone piece with a pickaxe and a silver dagger, so he's going to take the silver dagger and pickaxe. And I got 2 discovered. Nice, this is cool. Oops. Silver dagger, and he's +0 silver dagger. Okay, can't even read my own writing. And he starts to touch the pickaxe, and the Dragonborn goes, "Hey, how come you're getting all this stuff? I'll take that." And he'll take the pickaxe. I don't know if it really matters, because they're going to end up handing over a bunch of stuff, right? A pickaxe is not necessarily a weapon, but I think in this case it probably, certainly could be. And then it also says discovered gear. 2 items on in the satchel or on the body. So let's see what the items are. D12. That's a 1. Bitten by a venomous... Oh! Bitten by a venomous spider. So it's not gear. There's a spider in this... Oh my gosh. In the skeleton. And I did not say who. I just was checking. I didn't realize that was a thing here yet. So I'm going to roll a d6 to see which of my characters is coming over at this point. Oh, actually, you know what? We're still in initiative. This guy's still up there. So I don't know if we would do this yet. So we are still... I'm going to remember that. I'm not going to undo that roll. That's cheaty. But what we do need to do is see what this guy does. I'm going to roll a morale check for him. Because his buddy just died, and he's 1 on 6. And he's up in the rafters. 17. He is going to fight. You dick. He definitely was supposed to run. So, okay, here it goes. So he's going to attack again. He is going to attack at the tiefling again. I gotta roll the bad guy die. The bad guy die is the black one. 9 is gonna be a miss. 9 plus 4? 13 is actually a hit, isn't it? That's a hit, which is going to be So, how's our torch timer looking? It's coming down. I can see that it's coming down. I don't know how long we've been going because that's hidden. But it doesn't matter because bummer. He shoots the torch with with his blowgun. So it snuffs out the torch. So the torch goes out and our tiefling is in the dark. And nobody knows what happens to this little bastard because of that. So, lights go out. This guy has just attacked. Shadow Elf's gonna get up and he's gonna try to light his torch. And the torch lighting is a D12, I think it said. DC 12 or DC 15 dex in darkness and rushed. So he's got a DC 15 dex to try to light the torch. 20! Ooh, beautiful. So he lights. Now can I reuse that torch? I'm going to roll 50-50. If we can reuse that torch, I'm going to roll a 50-50. Is it just snuffed out? So on an 11 or higher, we can reuse it. 6. So that torch is no good. But he had his own torch anyway, so I'm going to take that off his inventory. And he now has the torch. Thank goodness. Nice move, buddy. And when he lights up, this guy is going to be where? I was thinking as I didn't say it out loud, but as soon as the light went out and he had made his attack, I was thinking he would use his move to try to to drop down and get behind somebody. And I don't know who, so I'm going to roll a d6 to find out. And now that he's a 3, it's going to be... when I roll that randomly, I'm going like this. So here's my list. Shalonian, Slime, Mycelian. So he's going behind... This makes sense. Behind the mushroom who's way back there. This is where the dungeon pizza doesn't make sense. At this point, would I move everything? Like move all these pieces over and put them in the middle? Because the middle's supposed to be where the action is. Well, I can just kind of use this as an area, but if it gets complicated, that is what I would do. And I might say like, oh, the skeleton's on the far, and it takes 2 turns to get out to him. Because this was a big room, so I could have easily done that. But just for simplicity's sake, we're just going to say it's this big room. Light comes on. He turns around, and the goblin guy is right there. And he's like, oh, he's here, guys. I don't have a good voice for my son, but since he's closest, I'm going to have him go first. But he does have a sling. So he's going to move away. That's his only move here. He's going to move away enough that he can attack with the sling. He's not great, and he misses. He's already gone. The Shalonian is going to run in. Who do I want to run in? Good Lord. We really want to just take care of this bastard. But he's going to be tough. Even with all 6 of us. Because he didn't take any fall damage. I'm assuming. You know, he fell. He didn't fall. I'm going to say he jumped or whatever. I don't know what they were doing up in the stalactites or stalagmites. He slid down. It's best. All I can really think of is that we have to just fight. So, we'll go Tiefling. Who's got the torch, right? No, doesn't have the torch anymore. He's going to try and move behind. Go for an attack. +2. 8 + 2 is not enough. This guy's going to be really hard. in. Shalonian, +3. 12. Does that hit? I can't remember. Yes, it does. Good. D4, I believe. 4 damage. Okay. We needed that. Goodness. And Dragonborn can get over there as well. Attack. Did I restart my timer? I don't remember if I did. I did not. So let's restart it. 3 misses from the Dragonborn. Is there something else I should have done? I feel like I'm forgetting other things, right? There's too many characters to do. And the Slime Folk. He's got the silver dagger. I don't really want him to get all the way in there. I think what he'll do, 2, 4, 5, and he'll take a step back. So he'll attack with the dagger, but he doesn't want to be right up front. And he doesn't hit either. We're in trouble because this guy's tough. Who's the Creeper going to attack? He's got 3 options right next to him. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 is the Tiefling. 3, 4 is the Dragonborn. I don't like that at all. He's a 14 AC. But it's not going to matter if he gets hit, right? 1 claw, so he's up close. So that's a +1. 4 + 1 is a miss. Okay, so we want to force this guy up close, I think. Oh. Yeah, we want to try to force this guy up to be up close. Oh, I know what we need to do. I should have done this last time. We want to pin him down. We want to, like, grapple him. Grab this little guy. Boy. I'm not quite sure if there's a rule for that. But there's 6 of us. I feel like there should be. Right? Like, we grapple. I think it probably doesn't have an actual rule. This has never come up, which is kind of funny now that I think about it. Damage, morale, death. Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing in combat about it. So I'm going to make it a contested strength or dex check. But because I have him basically surrounded, I'm going to say that we can work together here. It makes sense to me. So the Tiefling and the Dragonborn are going to work together and try to grapple him down. So he gets his roll, and these are the 2 rolls of my guys. They're the same, whatever. A 10, 17, 14. So they grapple him down, and while he's pinned down, who's got a rope? Somebody's got a rope. I've got a couple ropes here. The Dragonborn has a rope, and he's going to yell out, "Tie him up! Tie him up!" And they're going to tie him up, and good God, I think just kill him. I think we would be able to do we want our rope, so we can't not kill him. I think we have to kill him. So I'm going to say we can kill him because we pinned him down. Did they have anything? Can we take their blowguns? I wonder if we can take their blowguns. I'm going to write them here. I think we can. Why not? Now, skeleton. We already know what's going to happen on the first roll, but I need to see who does it. We have 6 characters. 1, 2, 3. The Mycelian, who happens to be closest anyway. He comes over and he's like, guys, check this out. And he's going to say, oh, look, there's a satchel. And he opens up the satchel and he is bitten by a venomous spider. DC 12 con or die. What's his con? 0. That's better than most of my characters. So he needs a 12. 18. Okay. Ow! So he's not going to die. He's just going to turn into Spider-Man. Ow, I got bit. He's going to be a little more careful on this next check. I think we get one more item, right? 11. A rusty dagger. I love the rusty dagger. We'll take it. Who wants it? Somebody doesn't have a dagger, right? I think every character has a dagger. That's funny. You know who doesn't? Him. That's really funny. He'll have a rusty dagger. I love it. I have intended to, I haven't done this very often, but I have intended to have this type of adventure have shoddy weapons where it does one lower hit die, one lower damage than normal. So we are going to do that. He'll take his dagger. I think there was something else too. The skeletal corpse also has leather. Discovered deer, two items. I need to check what the pickaxe can do. And we're going to take those blowguns. I don't see why not. We would use them. We got 2 dead goblinoid guys. Creevers. And we are through 3. I'm horrible at. Oh, shoot. I need more room for my characters here. Whatever. I'm horrible at keeping notes. Because I'm trying to play. I don't want to slow down the play by taking notes. And I don't want to pause the stupid video every few minutes either. Okay, so we had one quick death really fast. Somehow, by some weird miracle, we survived a fight with 2 Creevers with 19 hit points. Did I cheat by allowing us to pin him down and tie him up? I don't really think so, except 19 hit points, right? So that's kind of weird. So I'm going to call it there, and we're going to make this at least a 2-parter because I'm pushing an hour. So this is going to be part 1, and I will be back with part 2 another time. Thanks for watching. I am Bradu. I am playing a Gauntlet 0 level, and it is Lottery of the Lost from Unnatural Selection. And I don't always say this, I hate when people say it, but I'm a very, very small channel. Any little bit of like and comment, I think might help me in the algorithm. I have no algorithm at all. Like, I think the algorithm just kills me because I don't have any followers or views or comments yet. So I would love to get some interaction going on a video like this and see if that helps me at all. So, all right, thanks for watching. I'll be back with more death, probably.